you open up Facebook and you see a lot of people asking you to do something, to call your representative and make a phone call. And you're probably like, why do I want to talk to them? People, they'll never call me. I don't even know who to call in the first place. Well, I'm here to show you how to find out who to call to get something done in your state, and at least to just find out who they are and find out where they are in the government. What I mean by that, there's like a group of people, 100 or so. Let's just say there's 100, and they're the representatives from across your state. Well, one of those people represents you. So you need to call them and bring up issues to them. But also these people, these 100 people are divided up into groups. And here are some of the groups of the Texas House committees. Okay, there's a House and a Senate. Most of us made it through school on that one. There's a House and a Senate. Okay, so this is the House side. And then the Senate side, you can do the same thing. You can search up, House, Senate committees, list of Senate committees in whatever state you want to look at. And today I'm going to look at Texas. So one issue that I have is because of the coronavirus, there's going to be a lot of people not going to work. A lot of money's not, the economy is going to tank. So people aren't going to get paid and their homes are going to get foreclosed on. So I don't know where to go, but what I'm going to do is we're going to make a phone call to the business and industry. Okay. And the business and industry committee they might not be the right one, but it's definitely industry. And I'm kind of thinking, okay, well, maybe I pick industry because housing and lending and all that stuff is an industry, right? So let's call there first and see what happens. All right, give me a sec. I'm going to pull it up. And I just type in Texas House Committees, right? So I'm going to go to business and call them up and see if we can't talk to somebody there. Hold on. All right, so when you click on the business and industry, these are the list of people who are on there. And you can click on the name and find out like where they're from and stuff like that. This is on Texas. A lot of places do. There's a capital address. They stay there when they're making laws. And then they usually operate out of the district address, which is going to be your neighborhood. So you can find out if this person is in your neighborhood. There's also like resources and stuff like that to help find out who your representatives are. And it's important because if you talk to them, they usually want to help, and so there might be a way you can talk to them and get them, especially if a lot of people call about a specific issue. They'll respond in some way, you know what I mean? But if they don't know, they don't know. So you have to call them. All right, so I'm going to give a call to this 512 number right here. Hold on. Let's do it. All right, now I'm just going to call them, and I'm probably going to get a gatekeeper. So understand that you're not going to get to them. You're going to get a gatekeeper. So you'll see that here in a minute. Hi, I'm sorry, I can barely hear you. What did you say?
You reached the Business and Industry Committee?
Oh, okay. Hi, my name's Drew, and look, I'm making a YouTube video showing people how to talk to the representatives, and the reason why I'm calling the Business and Industry Committee is because I'm not sure if I found the right place. Maybe I need to speak to a different committee, but I have an issue with the fact that the economy is going to, it's going to take a hit because of the coronavirus. People aren't going to go out, right? So people aren't going to be able to afford their mortgages. And it happened in the Great Depression. It was constitutional that they were able to interfere and stop foreclosures on people's homes. So if that tells you what I'm looking for, if you could direct me to the proper committee that would be able to hear those kind of issues or discuss those kind of issues.
So, excuse me, correct me if I'm wrong. You are interested in learning more about the stoppage of home foreclosures?
No, I would like for the legislature to come to session or something and make an emergency law that stops foreclosures, bro, because people aren't going to be they're going to be staying away from public places. People aren't going to get paid. So they're not going to pay their mortgages or their rents, you know what I mean? So there's going to be a lot of people trying to foreclose. And these people, the owners, the people trying to foreclose, they don't care, you know what I mean? They honestly don't care. They just want to foreclose. It's normal for them, and they don't consider the truth of what's happening. So it's up to the legislators to recognize that and enact some sort of legislation to prohibit that from happening.
Right. I mean, unfortunately, right now we are not in a legislative session. And the only way we can enter into a legislative session is if the governor calls for a special session. So, if that's what you're interested in pushing for or pursuing, I encourage you to voice those concerns to the governor's office, because as of right now, we as a committee or we as a, entity do not have any power to engage in a legislative session. That at this point is only determined by the governor and whether or not he wants to exert that power, because we are a biannual legislature and that we meet every 2 years.
Would I be wrong to say that if the entire committee approached him and said, "Hey, Governor, we need to address this issue," that he might actually entertain that? Would I be wrong if I said that?
I don't know. I don't. It's not my job to speculate. If you have the desire to reach out to each committee member and ask if that's completely your prerogative. But I wouldn't know.
Is there like let me see, Representative Martinez? Huh? He's the chair for the committee.
That's correct.
Okay. Okay. Well, we'll start with him then. Okay. Well, thank you very much. But
All
oh
right.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, the problem still exists that I don't know if I'm talking to the right committee. I want to make sure I at least get to the right committee first. So does mortgages and anything like that, does that kind of clue you in on who I should be talking to, what committee?
Let me. We don't. Our committee doesn't really oversee banking. Let me point you in the right direction.
Okay. Thank you.
So you probably want to reach out to the Senate Finance Committee and then also the House Economic Development Committee.
Economic development. Oh, okay.
Right.
International relations and economic
Correct.
development.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. And you said that
if you're specifically looking for banking, you would want to reach out to the Pensions, Investments, and Financial Services Committee because they oversee everything related to banking, savings and loans, credit unions, the lending of money. So that I would, I'm not 100% sure, but just based on what they oversee, that would probably be the best committee for you to reach out to in terms of any banking questions you may have.
okay. All right, let me just make sure I got the right one. You said for the Senate committee, it's which one? Finance?
Right.
Okay. And for sure the governors. I'm going to take your note on that one, brother. Okay. All right, I'm gonna hit up those guys over there and get this going. And thank you very much. I appreciate it.
All right. You have a good day, sir.
You too. Bye.
Bye-bye.
So yeah, okay. So as you can see, I didn't reach the right person, but I stayed on the phone, and sometimes I believe they don't want to help you. So you kind of gotta not let them bounce on you. Don't let them abandon the conversation. When he started talking about, well, it's the other person's office, it's the governor's office, it's somebody else. Well, I redirected and I said, well, would I be wrong if you guys told something to the governor? And the reason why I thought about that was because if I call the governor's office, they're gonna be like, who's this citizen person? Who's this voter? Why do we care about this person? But if it's like 15 committee members, well, that's different. You know what I mean? Then he's like, okay, what do you guys got going on? So it takes a little while to get this stuff going on, and it's got to start from somewhere. But you guys can be the start of that process, where you make a phone call, you have an issue, and understand that there's going to be a gatekeeper. And you got to understand that there's going to be a gatekeeper. You got to understand that they're probably not going to want to talk to you. And also, you have to assume that they're not going to have any time. They're doing something, whether they're being lazy or whether they're actually doing something. So you better have your explanation correct. Write it down a couple of times. What is it that you're calling about? Let me write it down. Okay, is that what I'm really calling about? No, I'm really calling about this. Okay, are you really calling about that? Well, sort of. I'm actually calling about this. So make sure you write it down, think about it, figure out what you're going to say, and then just go. Just go and talk to them and don't take no for an answer. Talk to that person, get them to help you out. And besides, they're going to remember you because they talked to you and they spent more time with you. So then they'll remember the issue. Maybe when it comes back around to them, they'll be like, oh, yeah, I thought about that. And I spoke to that person 2 days ago, and I thought about it, and it makes me, and I was thinking about it, and I was like, oh, shit, I hope they call back. I wish I got their number. And then, but he did call somebody else spoke to, so now I can be part of the process. These people, they want to join in on certain things, laws and issues that affect the state. So they're going to want a piece of the pie, the ego pie. So anyway, hope this helps, and you guys get on the phone and find somebody to talk to that that can address your situation. And this is a way of finding that person, reacting to the fact that there's a gatekeeper who's going to be pressed for time and is not interested in what you have to say to begin with. You really have to stay. Don't let them leave, and don't leave. Don't abandon the conversation. Like, stay in the conversation. Anticipate that they're going to be like, well, we're going to pass it off to somebody else. Okay, we'll have a response for that. Have a response for their passage of the buck. Okay, and then also know what you're going to say. All right, talk to you guys later.